Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, came through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Going hard! Halt! Left face! Order! Guards! Carry! Guards! Freeze it! Guards! I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Two great flag, MITV, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible.
Carry! Colors! Order! Guards! Ready, cut! Left face! Port arms! Forward! March!
Again, thank you for everyone for being here today as we celebrate a very special Texas Independence Day with the very special people here in McAllen. This all started a couple years ago when I went looking for a Texas flag and I could not find one anywhere in McAllen. Then I was also surprised that the majority of the people in town don't know that March 2nd is Texas Independence Day. They could tell me the days and celebrations of everything else, but they didn't know there was such a thing. I have a motto this year. If it's going to happen, we are going to make it happen now. So that's why we're here. Somehow or another, this has been talked about to get it going, and it never is done. So today, as small or as large or whatever it may be, we were going to do it today. So today marks the beginning of celebration for many more years to come, and that we can continue talking to our children about the great state of Texas in all of our schools. I just want to especially thank today the elementary school principals from each of the Minnetropolis schools who came in when I called them along with Ms. Rachel Arcate, assistant superintendent, which she doesn't have anything else to do except to accept my calls. And they all helped me put this celebration together. We came one day and 2.5 weeks ago, and I just told them my vision. And I just turned this over to Ms. Ileana, Miss Texas.
Thank you. How's everybody doing today? Oh, come on. I know it's early, but I think we can get a little more enthusiastic. How's everybody doing? That's better. I'm not a morning person myself, so we've all got to wake up, though. Well, I'm honored to be here today to celebrate our great state's Independence Day. And I mean, what can I say? I'm a Texas girl born and raised here in McAllen. And I had the incredible opportunity to wear our Texas sash this past year at the Miss USA pageant in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And you know, Texas is kind of like a country in its own. Author John Steinbeck once said, "Texas is a state of mind. Texas is an obsession. Above all, Texas is a nation in every sense of the word." And that's a powerful statement, and I believe it's so true. I've never heard of another state be described the way Texas has been described. As Texans, we embrace the culture of the U.S., of course, as well as the culture of Mexico. And we also embrace Texan culture with great pride, which is in and of its own itself. I've traveled all over the world, and I've never experienced the pride that people from Texas have for their state. It's always wonderful to see Texans outside of the state or country because you can always recognize them. They will always bring up the fact that they live in the Lone Star State. I live in Austin now, and when I first moved there, I worked at the advertising agency that was originally in charge of the Don't Mess with Texas campaign from 1986 to the year 2000. And it was originally trademarked by the Texas Department of Transportation for littering, to reduce littering. And I thought it was really, really cool to learn that it won America's favorite slogan, beating out Nike's Just Do It campaign and the Got Milk campaign. Don't Mess with Texas is still very much used, but it now carries a different meaning, which is frequently used as an example of Texan pride and culture. That being said, I thank you again for having me today, and I look forward to hearing what everybody has to say about the great state of Texas. Thank you again. I would now like to introduce Sophia Flores, the mayor of Houstonville, from Sam Houston Elementary.
Texas Independence Day celebrates the adoption of Texas's Declaration of Independence on March 2nd, 1836. This event is marked Texas's independence from Mexico. 60 delegates from all over Texas signed the declaration. It declared Texas a free and independent republic. March 2nd is also a day we honor Sam Houston, who led Texans to victory at the Battle of San Jacinto and served as the first elected president of the Republic of Texas. The Republic of Texas was annexed to the United States 9 years after the Texas Declaration of Independence was signed. Texas was admitted into the Union on December 29, 1845, making Texas the 28th state of the United States. Thank you.
Sophia did a great job. Let's give her another big round of applause. She memorized that. She didn't even read off of anything. I don't know how she did that. I remember when I was giving up my crown as Miss Texas. I'm no longer Miss Texas, but I did that in September. I came down and toured a bunch of the schools, and I think Sophia was the mayor at the time already, right? Yeah, and they welcomed me with big wide arms into their school, so thank you for that. I would now like to introduce David Guerra, the president and CEO of IBC Bank.
Good morning, everyone. Again, thank you for coming out, and especially to the children in all the schools that they represent. I've never seen so many beautiful faces, very active, very alert, and ready to get a great education and hopefully get a stronger understanding of the history of their state. March 2nd is a date that I always remember, and I never failed to be able to have the correct answers to when Texas became declared its independence from Mexico. My grandfather was born on March 2nd, and I was born on March 3rd, so that made it really easy for me to remember that the state of Texas was founded by the rebels, and that's what they were. They were rebels against the established government, which was Mexico, run by a dictator, which then, of course, the way that the principles of independent people could not agree with. And the rebels included predominantly the Anglo groups, but we also had Mexicans. They were Mexican citizens that also took up the fight against the the central government of Mexico against Santa Anna, the dictator at that time. And we also had people of color, blacks, who were also part of the fight, as were Native Americans. They're not really remembered too well in the history of Texas. But I think as the years go by, the decades go by, and more research is done, I think the missing laps, the missing holes of the complete history of Texas is being filled by incredible scholars. So these rebels, as all rebels that believe they're fighting a just cause, and some that we may agree with those causes, some that we may not agree, because you see causes of rebels all over this world that are nothing more than atrocious acts of aggression. But in Texas, I think it was a noble quest. I think it set standards for how the culture of this state was going to be, and had a can-do spirit. It had the IBC spirit of we do more, we can do more, we can be better at what we're at, we can achieve a much greater outcomes if we all are fully dedicated, fully committed to our cause. So that's IBC is fully committed to its communities and to the cause of we doing more. Like Dora said, this what we have right here. It just doesn't happen because Dora says we're going to do this. It happens because our company and our group of people in the 35 years, 33 years of history that I have with IBC, we built a culture of doing things that improves or enhances the quality of life here in McAllen and our surrounding communities. So again, thank you. Children, I know you have some performances. I wish you success with that. And again, God bless the state of Texas, and my family's been here since the 1820s. Thank you.
Now please help me welcome to the stage Roy Rodriguez, City Manager from the City of McAllen.
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to be here. It really is. Ileana said some things that bring a lot of joy to my heart about being a Texan. You know, I hate to admit this, that first of all, thank you, Dora, for inviting me, and thank you for IBC for doing this. I hate to admit that the last time that I celebrated Texas Independence Day, I was in elementary school. So seeing all of these kids here brings so much joy. I was actually in elementary school just down the road here in Harlingen, Texas at Lorenzo de Zavala Elementary School, which is a big part of our Texas history for those that have not heard of his name. I was assigned homework, folks, okay, by Dora Brown, and so you're gonna have to bear with me, all right? I did cut my 30-minute speech to 3 minutes. So, because, you know, they tell you to be brief and all that good stuff. But before I do that, has everyone met Dora's sister, Diana? Can you please raise your hand? Okay. Now, I told her, now I understand why they say Dora is everywhere. Thank him upstairs for the band playing when I got here. Otherwise, I would have carried a 30-minute conversation with her thinking she's Dora. Unbelievable. Welcome to McAllen, Diana. It's awesome. Let me tell you a little bit about the Texas flag. The Texas flag code assigns the following symbolism of colors. For those of us that don't remember. I know the kids know all this stuff on both sides, but the rest of us either don't know or forgot. Blue is for loyalty, white is for purity, and red is for bravery. The single star, or the lone star, represents all of Texas and stands for our unity as one for God, for our state, and for our country. Texas Independence Day is the celebration of the adoption of the Texas Declaration of Independence on March the 2nd of 1836. With this document, as told by our mayor of Houstonville, 59 people, or 60, settlers in Mexican Texas officially declared independence from Mexico and created the Republic of Texas. The declaration was signed in a place called Washington on the Brazos, and it's an awesome part of our history because they deliberately called it that so that it would not be confused with Washington on the Potomac when the Declaration of Independence of the United States was signed. So just that little fact is so awesome to me. I'm going to tell you that I have been blessed to be able to travel across the United States and parts of the world, Europe and the Middle East. And inevitably, as Ileana stated earlier, when I'm asked where I'm from, I will rarely say Harlingen or McAllen or even the United States. I will say Texas, because there's something special about this state. Yes, that is why I wear boots every day. It's either boots or tennis shoes, so I do both extremes. Lots of things happen in this awesome state that we live in that we should be very, very proud of this history. The Battle of the Alamo, which all of us are so familiar with, where brave men and women endured what can only be a horrific 13 days of withstanding that bombardment by the Army of Mexico. And whether you understand all of our history or not, because there are some cloudy days in the history of Texas. There's good and bad. Those days had to have been what made Texas what we are. We didn't win that battle, and yet that is the battle that we remember in the history of our great state. Obviously, the Battle of San Jacinto was what cemented our independence from Mexico and made us a country of our own. The only state in the United States that can say that. The truth is that the Declaration of Independence was actually signed while the siege was going on. Can you imagine that? I have a lot to talk about, and I'm going to spare you a little bit. I'm going to give you homework. I'm going to ask you to go and look up the history of Texas, because it is one that is so, so amazing. But I'm going to leave you with the letter that William Travis wrote the second day of the siege of the Alamo. To the people of Texas and all American in the world, fellow citizens and compatriots, I am besieged by 1,000 or more of the Mexicans under Santa Anna. I have sustained a continual bombardment and cannonade for 24 hours and have not lost a man. The enemy has demanded a surrender at discretion. Otherwise, the garrison are to be put to the sword if the fort is taken. I have answered the demand with a cannon shot, and our flag still waves proudly from the walls. I shall never surrender or retreat. Then, I call you in the name of liberty and patriotism and everything dear to the American character to come to our aid with all dispatch. The enemy is receiving reinforcements daily and will no doubt increase to 3,000 or 4,000 in 4 or 5 days. If this call is neglected, I am determined to sustain myself as long as possible and die like a soldier who never forgets what is due to his own honor and that of his country. Victory or death. Thank you.
I would now like to present the Houstonville choral readers from Sam Houston Elementary.
Many people make up this great state of Texas. Many cultures.
Many races.
Men, women, and children. All Texans. Before 1900, historians estimated that more than 50 Indian nations roamed the prairies of Texas. I am Texas. Texas is known as the Lone Star State because of our state flag. The blue stands for loyalty. The white represents purity. The red for bravery. I am Texas. Anglo-American Texan. Belgian Texan. Chinese Texan. Czech Texan. I am Texas. More than 30,000 Anglo-Americans arrived in Texas by 1836. Cotton. Corn.
Cattle.
All largely developed by and not brought by Anglos. Danish Texan. English Texan. Filipino Texan. French Texan. I am Texas. The Chinese initially arriving in Texas as laborers and facing decades of exclusion laws were often railroad laborers. German Texan. Greek Texan. Hungarian Texans. Irish Texans.
I am Texas.
The German Texas culture started in 1831 when Frederick Ernst acquired land in Austin County. Within a couple of years, his neighbors included other German families such as the Clayburghs, a family later to become associated with the King Ranch in South Texas. Japanese Texan. Jewish Texan. Lebanese. Norwegian Texan. I am Texas. African American Texans arrived in Texas were brought in as slaves.
Others as free people but indentured servants.
Today, no field in Texas lacks the names of African Americans, Native Americans, Tejanos, Swedish Texans, Scottish Texans. I am Texas.
European Spaniards and their descendants were the dominant peoples of Texas for more than 3 centuries.
From the beginning of the 16th century until 19th, the Spanish changed New World history.
Native peoples in the land far more than others.
Texas, our Texas, all hail the mighty state. Texas, our Texas, so wonderful, so great. I am Texas. I am Texas.
I am Texas.
I am Texas. We are Texas.
Now please help me welcome to the stage Terry Canales, State Representative of Texas District 40.
Good morning. I too will try to make my comments short. As I stood here earlier, I was listening to the letter that was read to you by William Barrett Travis. What you need to also know is that during the siege, William Barrett Travis also urged Sam Houston to continue with the deliberation and the execution of the Declaration of Independence. He said he'd rather sacrifice his own life because without the declaration, a strong declaration of independence from the state of Texas, we considered nothing but lawless bandits, and the rest of the world needed to know what Texas stood for. 180 years ago today, that Declaration of Independence for the state of Texas was signed. And what does it mean for us? Who are we as Texans? We're a melting pot. We're a melting pot of immigrants that have come together to form what I believe is the greatest state in the Union. I think we're the greasy plate of enchiladas. We're the mezcla. Our music is intoxicating. Our language is one of its own. People from all over the world know who Texans are. We're a proud people. We have our own clothes, our own style. As I said before, our own language, our own music. There's no place, not only in the United States, but in the rest of the world like Texas. We're a leader in industry. We're a leader in the petro and oil and gas industry. Our engineering programs are unrivaled. Our colleges are unrivaled. We truly are a nation within a nation. The rest of the world and the United States can't make it without Texas, but Texas could make it without them because we are that strong. Our economy, our size, our people, we truly are an impressive group of people. I stand before you today as someone whose family has been here since the 1800s, like Mr. Guerra, like Bobby Guerra's family. People that pioneered this land, people that fought the injustices. I've got an uncle, a great uncle, who was at the time one of the only Texas legislators, the only Mexican-American legislator in the House of Representatives. Under threats of death, helped dismantle the Texas Rangers and the injustices they perpetrated at that time. Today, those that fought before us, we stand on the shoulders of giants, civil rights giants, engineering giants, educational giants, people that have the bravery to come before us like William Barrett Travis, Sam Houston, Juan Seguin. It's easy to forget, but it's important that we don't. We must remember where we came from so that we know where we're going. We are the shining star. We are the Lone Star State. We are proud. We are true. And we know what is important. Familia. Our God, our faith, and each other. Today we not only celebrate the signing of the Declaration of Independence, we celebrate Texas. We celebrate each other. We celebrate where we came from. So God bless you, God bless the United States, and God bless Texas.
Well, first of all, Dora, where is she? What? Give her a big hand for bringing all these kids over here, huh? Because that's what Texas is all about. That's what our future is all about. Good morning and thank you for having me here. And by the way, I'm not used to reading off of one of these. I usually have a paper copy, but I'll do my best. I'm trying to get modern here. I want to thank IBC for inviting me to participate in today's Texas Independence Day celebration. And a little bit of comment about what Terry and Mr. Guetta had to say. It's interesting, but many of you out there, our families came here, well, as Eva Longoria likes to say, our families didn't cross the border crossed us. And that speaks volumes about this area and about South Texas. Again, I want to thank IBC for inviting me to participate in today's Texas Independence Day celebration. On this, the 180th anniversary of Texas independence, it's an honor to serve this great state as state representative for this area in District 41. I take great pride in my family's history here in Texas. They've been here since 1750 on both my mother and my father's side, paternal and maternal. They were a very old ranching family. For generations, the Ghettos have lived, worked, and served in this great community. It is this hard-working tradition that I take with me to Austin to work on how we can make South Texas and Texas as a whole a better place for all of us. As we remember our history today, I think it's important to see how that history shapes our future and how each day and every one of us can do our part to make it even better than it is. Thank you, all of you here today, and God bless Texas, and God bless the Rio Grande Valley. Before I'm done, I have a special gift here to give to IBC and to Dora. In this box is a Texas flag that was flown over our Capitol. And with pride, I give this certificate and I give this Texas flag to Dora. Dora, would you come on up? Thank you. And I ask that you fly it right over this banner. God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless all of you, and again, thank you for having me here today. There you go. Well, here's your certificate. God bless you all.
So now I would like to welcome to the stage Conrado Alvaro, School Board President from McAllen ISD.
Thank you very much, Mr. Guetta, Ms. Brown. Thank you so much for partnering up with McAllen ISD. What a tremendous event. Where is Ms. Flores? Come up here. Mr. Gomez, where are you? The guy from Mayor from Mustangville. Come up here real quick. Come up, stand over here by my side. Come over here. Mayor Salinas. From Salinas, what's your name? Joanna. Welcome. Come stand over here. So I also had homework students, and I'm gonna make my marks to the students. I had homework too, but my speech is very long, and no one really wants to listen to me and talk because everything's been stolen that I wrote. So I'm gonna have to change a little. But what I want to take my time is just thank everyone from the school districts for participating. So Dr. Gonzalez, would you please come up and stand over here, please? Mr. Carter from McAllen ISD, our principals. Please come up. I don't know, everyone's from MIMS and Salinas. Please come up here in the front too. Mission. Alvarez. Okay. So we're and the reason I'm having Mr. Suarez too. Mr. School Board trustees over there hiding. Come over here, Mr. Suarez, Mr. Florina. Well, as we go on, I just want to put the people up here that played a big part in organizing this. This is hard to pull students out. It's hard to during testing coming up. It's hard to get students to prepare for the dancing, the singing. So I just want to publicly thank all these educators up here. Mr. Suarez for taking the lead from McAllen ISD. I just get to represent us. He actually is the one that did all the work with Ms. Brown. So I just want to publicly thank him. So thank you to all of them. Let's give them a big round of applause. And the reason I have the mayors up here, and this is going out to all the students, okay? I know sometimes I would miss school and go to functions like this, and I would think, great, I don't have to do that math, or I don't have to listen to that reading, right? And some of you are smiling and saying, yeah, right? But I want you to remember this event, because this is an important day. And as you go on, I want you to remember that March 2nd marks Texas Independence Day. And what it means to me, Texas, it gave me an opportunity to better myself. I went to school here in McAllen. I participated in a lot of these things as well as you did. and I was able to get my education here in one of our great Texas schools here, and able to better my life. And I want you to know that's what we're here for. We want y'all to do the same thing. Texas is a great state. You're our future. You're our future leaders. And we need you to keep working hard every day. We need you to push yourself to an education. We need you to go to medical schools that are here, law schools, to any school that you want. We want you to dream big. We have Mike Fossum, one named astronaut here from McAllen. So no dream is big enough. You have to keep making the state great, and you're the future. And I tell you what, I will sleep better tonight after watching y'all perform, watching the incredible speeches, performances, the dance from all y'all, knowing that our hands are great, the state of Texas in great hands with all these future leaders coming up and all these great educators and leaders that we have. So with that, I say thank you, and let's give everybody one big round of applause.
And I agree completely with Mr. Alvarado. I mean, it's great that everybody's here, and you can really tell that you've put a lot of time and effort into this, so thank you again. I would now like to welcome Dr. Jose Gonzalez, Interim Superintendent for McAllen ISD.
Good morning, everyone. What a wonderful event. First and foremost, thank you to Mr. Guerra. Thank you so much, sir, for putting this together. Mr. Brown, thank you. We appreciate everything that you've done to make this event come together. Board President Alvarado, board members, Mr. Suarez and Mr. Farina, thank you for being here this morning. To the rest of the board, thank you as well. To our principals, thank you for all the hard work. And most importantly, to our students. As I look across over at our students, I see our future doctors and lawyers and engineers. I see our future dentists. I see our future servicemen and servicewomen, people that are going to make a difference. This is the generation that's going to make things happen. This is the generation of students that's going to take our great state of Texas to the next level. And as we celebrate Texas Independence Day, and as we celebrate all the great things that are going on in our wonderful state, the most important thing we need to celebrate is our children. And let's give them a round of applause for their wonderful performances today. So before I leave the stage, I do have a message for the students. Students, please know that the adults here care about you very much. And all of you bring something special to the table. And all of you are very intelligent and some kind of smart. And all of you have dreams. But please know that between your dreams and accomplishments comes discipline and consistency. Make sure that you start today looking at what your goals are. Make sure that you start with establishing that discipline and that consistency to accomplish your goals now at a young age. Have a definiteness of purpose. Know what you want to do. There are many adults that care about you. Go to adults. If you want to be a president of a bank, talk to Mr. Guerra. He'll give you advice. If you want to be a superintendent, talk to me. I'll give you advice. If you want to be whatever you want to be, there's members in this community. If you want to be a city manager, talk to Mr. Roy Rodriguez. He'll show you the way. All of us care about you more than you know. And all of us know that you are our future. But please, establish your goals now. Yearly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, hourly goals, minute by minute goals. And then stay disciplined and consistent. And whatever you want to do, you can do. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.
That was a very inspiring speech, Mr. Gonzalez. Thank you.
This concludes our ceremony for today, but remember, Texas is celebrated today, not just today, but every day. And right now, I'd like to thank Ms. Ileana for being here, Miss Texas. What better way than to have the Miss Texas here at the Texas celebration, right? So thank you very much, Ileana. And also, the Minitropolis schools, the 4 Minitropolis schools that we have here, thank you very much. If you don't know the Minitropolis schools, please go to Mims Elementary, to Sam Houston, to Salinas,ville, to MITV, to Alvarez, who Alvarez has their drum line over here, and we have several others. So please on Fridays. If you can, call the schools and go and visit them so you know what we're talking about, and these are our future leaders. And to the city of McAllen, thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, but now I challenge you that for next year, this celebration is going to be turned over 1,000 times over, and that all the curriculum in all the schools in the Valley is going to be talking about Texas and the Texas celebration on March 2nd. Thank you, everybody.
I'm the mayor of Houstonville, and we have our city council. In my school, we have all the mini stores that we call Minitropolis. And what I really like about my job is that I can help other people and make them and make their dreams come true.
The sage in blue is like perfume, deep in the heart of Texas.
They're going to remember this day because this was a day where all eyes and all attention was on them. And they were our speakers telling us about what Texas is about.
Why is it important to IBC Bank to have something like this?
IBC is a great supporter of the community. And not just the community, we support our schools. And because of this support, we are able to have what we call a minitropolis. We have now 7 minitropolis schools. This is a city within the school that is run by the students. As you could tell by our speakers, we had our mayor, and they have their president of IBC Bank and other organizations in their city. So IBC is a big supporter of all the schools and of our different organizations in the community.
I hope that people will remember that they should be glad that they live in this wonderful state of Texas.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Oh, hail the mighty state, Texas, our Texas. So wonderful, so great. I am Texas. I am Texas.
I am Texas.
I am Texas.
We are